What's up, guys? Becca Mees here with the Fosters, Season 5, Episode 5, Telling. Okay, so this episode starts off with Callie walking through UCSD when she meets up with with Humana, and basically Humana's like, hey, we're having a party tonight. We're gonna have a party tonight, but please don't tell Mariana. She doesn't want Mariana to bring Poppy. So yeah. So anyway, so then Callie gets approached by this guy named Sean, who basically tells her about this thing that's going on, and Callie's like, she doesn't go to UCSD, and so anyway, the, Lena wakes up to the Bayfields at their doorstep, and Mariana, because she really wants to impress Logan, she's like, hey, she's a runner, and Mariana and Lena's like, since when? Since she's been getting really into shape. So she's like, hey, Logan, do you want to run? So Mariana runs upstairs and she's like, hey, Callie, she's running with the boy next door. And Callie's like, yo, run. And she's like, why does everyone keep saying that? Mariana and Callie's like, are you friends with Poppy? And she's like, yeah, yeah. And she's like, come on, really mentioning her to her friends. And she's like, how'd you two meet? And she's like, on Facebook. So so they start running, and he starts showing her a little derby move. He's shows her little derby moves, and so and says to how to present her mom, so she wants to do derby. So yeah, so 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 yeah, so anyway, so anyway, the baby. So Dean comes over and is like, hey, Tess is freaking out. The grill's not working. Well, can we use yours? So at the party, actually not at the party, at the party with the barbecue, at the barbecue plate at Foster's, Callie saying how she's going to UCSD with the art class, and she's like, hey, Brandon, why don't you go? Come to this party, bring Grace with you. And Mariana's like, hey, I'm going to move with Logan, and he's just like, sweet, can I come? And she's like, no, and she's like, come on, Mom's, I've been stuck in this house all day, and they're like, yeah, you can go, and they're like, and he's like, like, hey, let's go to this movie, and she's like, we're not actually going to a movie, we're going to a party, and he's just like, kill her even better, and she's like, you can't go to a party, he's like, you can't go to a party, or I'll tell Mom. Blackmail galore. Just this show loves blackmailing, and so anyway, so they go to a party, and Callie and he's just like Mariana's like, don't don't do anything, don't dance, don't do anything, don't drink, and he's like, and so anyway, so she meets up with Poppy and this other girl, and she's like, hey, who's that? She's like, that's my brother Jesus, and that's Logan, her future boyfriend. So so they meet up with Callie, and she's like, so she's like, hey, hey, let's. So she's like, hey, you said you could go to a movie, and I thought you were going to an art class with your art friends, and she's like, I didn't say what friends, and she's like, I didn't say what movie, and she's like, I told you this not to dance, this is dancing, he's like, dab. 2017 when this season came out, it's just not good anymore. Dabbing. Anyway, just kidding. Dabbing is good, but come on. Doing that, so they're like, so Maria, so Grace and Brent, so one of the people like, hey, anyone who wants to dance, come on, and Brandon and Grace come on. They're like, hey, we're Grand Canyon. Brandon's like, we're still working on the name. And they start singing a song, and Callie's like, and Mariana's like, hey, just pretend. I'll just pretend I don't know them. And Callie's like, I think they're pretty good until footage until Callie starts. Until Mariana sees footage of the Derby team playing, and basically she tries to distract Callie by saying, and Callie's like, how do you know all these Derby girls? And she's like, I can have friends that I don't. And she's like, what are you trying to make me unsee? And he's just like, I think we can unsee that a footage of Mariana being on Derby, and he's just like, I didn't know this either. So yeah, so Mariana tries to distract herself by saying Logan, because Logan's singing with another girl, because Mariana really wants to impress Logan, and Callie's just dumbfounded. So yeah, but Buzzkill cops come, and they basically are like, hey, do you have a permit to serve? Do you have a permit? And do you have a permit to serve alcohol and that? And they're like, no, we have a permit. You can't shut this party down. And they're like, hey, get everyone, get out of here. And the cops just don't want to see their permit, and they're like, hey, get your friends out of here. So yeah, so anyway, so Jesus, so they lose Logan, but Jesus starts having a seizure. Mariana starts saying 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, and he's like, why are you counting? And she's like, I'm counting your seizure. And she's, and yeah, so then he's like, you can't tell Mom, they'll never let me do anything again. She's like, you shouldn't be allowed in the house when you're doing this stupid. And he's like, yeah. And yeah, so basically blackmail galore again. They both blackmail each other to keep each other's secrets. So yeah, so basically, Mariana gets confronted by Callie when she gets home, where Callie's like, you lied, Mariana, you lied about Derby, you lied Poppy to her face, and she's like, don't yeah, she's like, don't do it, and she's like, don't act all high and mighty. Don't act all high and mighty. Where were you when you're trying to save the school? And she's like, don't turn this around on me. When I lie, is to help people. And she said, and she's like, so yeah, you took Jesus to a party. Only you took Jesus to a party, and he almost had a seizure, so you could only impress the boy next door. And she's like, don't be surprised when this blows up in your face again. So yeah, Callie, you better put Mariana on that point. So yeah, so anyway, so Mariana goes downstairs and she's like, the truth is, she's been working out with the roller team, and also Jesus had a seizure. So Lena's basically like, what is going on with you? You lied again. We're trying to help you. You lied again, and she's like, you're regretting Jesus. Emma can't come over, and he's like, what? He's like, what? That's total crap. And she's like, there are consequences for your action. We've been trying to help you, and then you pull something like this, and he basically he's about to throw something, and she's like, you better not throw that. And he's like, what? And she's like, or like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do to him? Like, ground him? He's like, he can't leave the house. And she's like, he basically forbids her from seeing. She forbids him from seeing Emma, and basically, yeah. So she's like, there are basically facilities for behavior. If he's just continue to act like this, that's exactly where he's going. So yeah, you better listen, because Lena ain't playing around this time. So yeah, so he basically called Emma, and he's like, he basically called Emma, and he's like, hey, they can't, I can't believe they ground me from seeing you. And he's like, I can't believe that. I can understand why they're mad going on a party like this. What is wrong with it was Mariana. Mariana took him to the party, and he's like, and she basically, he's like, can't you be on my side for once? And she's like, and he's like, can't you be on my side for once? And she's like, when you're not doing these stupid things, what's wrong with you? He's like, yeah, I'm glad you're not coming over because I don't want to see you anyway, and just throws his phone over to his bed. So yeah, so basically, so Steph has been getting into work lately, and Lena even called them and basically like, hey, Steph had an day off, and she's like, we, when you said that you were going to take this job, you said you weren't going to disappear. Just pour yourself into a glass of wine, and yeah, so she's like, I have to take care of it. It feels like I'm all in this alone, taking Jesus alone. And they basically hug each other, and they basically go upstairs to Jesus and end the episode hugging. So yeah. So what a crazy episode this was. What a crazy episode this was. Yeah. So Mariana put Callie in her place. Callie put Mariana in her place, which Mariana deserves. Mariana deserves it. So anyway, yeah. So Jesus has seizure, and yeah. So Logan reveals to Mariana that he did not get in trouble with his parents. He got in trouble with his girlfriend named Olivia, who he's long distancing in Baltimore until they can graduate and go to Syracuse together. So yeah, so Mariana, it seems like your plan for dating Logan will have to be put on hold for now, since he has a girlfriend and they're doing this long distancing. And yeah, so anyway, so yeah, so so yeah, so anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you next. The Fosters.